Hello again, everyone. Deflect here, Firm but Fair Gaming. Want to bring a new video, and this is going to be a quick discussion on tank balancing and what is going on. As there has been some nerfs lately. VDH got their sigils nerfed slightly. I thought they were actually going to change the one talent, the capstone, where you get double charge of sigils. I thought they were just going to say you get double charge of sigils minus the effect on silence, but they didn't do that. And then they, in their infinite wisdom, decided to nerf Brewmaster Monk, the least played and by IO worst tank in the game. They thought their damage was too high, and there was one person just doing that damage, and that is Equinox Monk. He does some crazy stuff. Name is now is Hannah Brew, but he is fully set up for DPS. He's using Storm Eater's Boon. He's using Ashes. Like, he is set for DPS. That's what he's just cranking out. And he does some phenomenal damage as a Brewmaster. But the problem is that's one person, and you change the spec based on one person. Now, I'm going to bring up some things just to start. So the balancing, I don't know if you guys have seen it. We'll go right to the overview of Dragonflight. We'll go straight here. And the tank balance looks a lot like this, as Monk is the lowest. This is an old one. I can show you on Raider.io where it actually is. But Monk is definitely the lowest. How much lower is Monk? Well, the Monk has a whopping 30 players over 3K. 30. Now you ask, well, that's great. That's the worst played. How many does the most have? You have to go to 2,850 players are 3K and above on DH. They have 2,820 players above Monks. Like, Monk has 30 above it. They have 2,820 more above 3K. 2,800. That's 100 times more players above 3K almost than Monks have. That's how crazy it is. And then so the nerf that came in just on their damage was, I didn't understand the point of it, and I can show you why. This Monk, it's in Russian, so I'm not entirely sure their name, but they got 100 parse, a 100 for the key, and did 260 at 519 item level. 260k damage, 519 item level. This DH, same level key, 16 ruby, same affixes, got a 87 parse, so not even 100, wasn't even perfect on it, at 516, so 3 lower item level, 247, so just 13k less than the Monk. Now, let's see the healing. They did get a 96 at 183,000. The Monk got only a 30 at 175. So the Monk required less healing to complete the key than the Demon Hunter, but the Demon Hunter did almost parse the same for damage as the Monk. So just crazy the nerfs. The Demon Hunter already has all that utility, and they decided to nerf Monk. So the balancing there is questionable by Blizzard at best. The other tanks do kind of fall in line a little bit. As for like IO, it's not all the same by any means. They are still behind VDH, but as for the top tanks, you can see 3,500 to top score. Squish Vegan's rocking it. And then the bottom at level number 40 is almost 31. So 3092. Blood DKs. You're sitting 33, 71. And the bottom is 31, 113. So the bottom DK is actually, like the 40th DK is actually higher than the Druid, but the Druid does have Squish Vegan cranking out at 3,500. Going into Paladins. Paladins are roughly the same boat, 34. Bottom is 31 and change. And then last but not least, Warrior, who just got buffed. Their top is just under 34, and their bottom is just over 3K. So all the classes seem to be cranking out a bunch over 3K, except Brewmaster, which just got nerfed. So interesting to see what's going to happen after this. I know it's early in the season, but that was the one thing that they used to bring that other tanks weren't doing as well at, was DPS, and now they are not bringing the same level of DPS as the other ones. It's just weird. It seems very weird to me that they would decide to nerf the damage on the brew versus any other one. It just seems that maybe Equinox Monk started that because he could do some crazy one, but that's one person. Definitely interesting. You can see healers are pretty set, but if you go to DPS, it is just marginally above VDH and BDK. So difference in it is, negligible, and the key level difference is huge. We're talking 4 key levels already. So I know this is a little out of date, but it will update shortly. It usually updates, I think, on Wednesday. But I wanted to bring a little perspective into the tank balancing. I'm not sure their exact plan was with the Brewmaster nerfs. You just didn't want them to do more damage. I don't know. I wonder if they like to bring it all in. And I know it's a weird thing to have everyone the same thing, but you almost need every other class to have 2 AoE interrupt stun silences like VDH to make them all competitive. Or what I thought they were going to do is literally the easiest. I know it's going to suck because VDH is in a great spot with it. I just thought they were going to nerf illuminated sigils where you don't have an additional charge of silence. That's it. I thought their fix is going to be you would still have 2 chains then, 2 misery, which is still huge, but you would only have 1 silence. I thought that was the change that was going to happen. It didn't happen yet this season. I don't know if they are planning on doing it, but I did have a feeling they were going to do it, and they didn't. So you'll see that VDH is going to run away with it because there's that much control, and they are, again, they're right there in damage with the tank that was built to do damage. So Brewmaster Monk does take about 14 buttons to do damage and defensives, whereas Demon Hunter takes about 6. A little difference in game style, gameplay, a lot more to do. And then, they just have that much more crowd control and control of packs and mobs. And, your DPS can just crank on it for 30 seconds without having to worry about hitting any interrupt buttons. Makes a big difference in the key. And you can see by the key level that how it works. So up until there'll be any changes in VDH, it will be running away with keys. I am still playing Brewmaster Monk this season. I enjoy it. Again, play the tank that you like. They're all fun to play. And I'm going to do a video on ranking the fun part of them for me. But yeah, this is the way it's going to be for a bit until VDH has some changes or until other ones catch up. And then I don't know if it's good just to give every tank double AoE interrupts / stuns or something. Like you could do double leg sweep or double ring of peace, but I don't know. Then you kind of lose your uniqueness between the tanks. But they are trying to balance them for damage, so maybe they will balance them that way as well. I don't know. I don't know what Blizzard's plan is, but up until this point, that's where the balancing is sitting. Stay tuned for the video on the fun tanks, which will have 0 to do with balancing and more to do with the enjoyment of the class. Anyways, this was Deflect for But Fair Gaming. We'll see you in the next video.